Welcome back, Spurs fans, to the Scott Hepler football channel. If you haven't yet, subscribe. Let's build a community here where we can engage and have conversations and debate the different aspects of the team and football itself. And then if you like the video, hit the like button and make sure you make your comments down in the comments section. Give me your thoughts on the things we're going to talk about today. So we got the big North London Derby coming up this weekend on March 14th. Spurs are playing at Arsenal, and so this is another must get 3 points, must win to give us that opportunity to move up into the top five or keep competing for that top five spot. Is top four a question still, or is that something we can actually talk about? So I actually have a video on that, working towards top five, top four. I've gone through and pulled a lot of data, put together a lot of stats, did an analysis, and projected where we're going to finish. So check that video out. That's out. That should be out there. And so we're going to get into our predicted preview ponderings today and talk about the matchup a little bit here and just different aspects within the matchup and things that need to be looking out for. So let's jump right off into or ponder upon this. So we're going to ponder upon, would you rather win the North London Derby this weekend against Arsenal or make top five? And I mean, for me, myself, I think top five is a must because we're all in jeopardy of potentially losing Kane, Son, some of our strongest players if we don't make European competition next season. And top five is one of those avenues we can do. The other one's through Europa. You can't say it's definitely going to happen either way. So we got to play both sides of that right now. So for me, the North London Derby, big match, definitely want to win. But, huge rival. It's the Derby. To me, it's more important to finish top five than beating Arsenal this weekend. If you had to choose one or the two, like I proposed there. All right. So we're going to get into the injuries for the Spurs. It's still just Lo Celso. Everyone else should be fit, ready to go. Still no real determination on when Celso comes back. Every time we turn around, it's 1 or 2 weeks. So who knows? Definitely think we need him back for this push here at the end of the season for help with the Europa matches and the Premier League matches coming up. So we need him in there. We need our full strength going into every match that we can. As far as team history, I don't care what it is. This is similar to American football when you play within conferences. The teams know each other so well. They play each other so often that you can just take and throw form right out the window. Doesn't matter if it's, if they've won 5 in a row and we've lost 5 in a row. Matches like this are just, you can't take form or things into consideration. You can to a little bit of an extent, but these rivalry matches, the derbies, are just that intense that you just can't tell exactly what's going to happen. And especially with Arsenal, you can also argue with Spurs. Both teams have kind of been a Jekyll and Hyde this season, and you just don't know what you're getting from one match to the next. Spurs went through a really great run to start the season, then they went through a pretty rough slump. They're in about the second quarter to halfway point, and now we're starting to hopefully make that turn and come out of that. But you could argue that both teams are kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. So within the last 5 Premier League matches, Spurs have won 3 in a row and lost 2. So pretty good. Like I said, we're starting to come out of that funk a little. This is going to be one of those matches that kind of lets us know, are we really coming out of that funk, or we just kind of had a good run of matches and now we're back into that kind of lull that we were in before. We've collected 15 out of the last 30 points available in our last 10 matches. We scored 16 goals and given up 13 goals in our last 10 matches. So it wasn't but a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, that was the upside down. It was, giving up more goals than we were putting in. So we're starting to turn that around with these last 3 wins, but let's hope we can continue going forward. We put 3 shutouts together in the last 10 matches also. So something to take note of. And with Arsenal, in their last 5 Premier League matches, they've gone 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. So not quite as good as us, but they're not that far off from what we've been doing the last 5 matches either. In their last 10 matches, they've collected 15 of 30 points, just like us. So, well, they've done it in a different fashion with more draws and less losses and probably fewer wins. They've done it a different way, but they've collected the same amount of points. As far as goals, they've scored 15, which is only 1 less than us in their last 10 matches, but they've only given up 9 goals in their last 10 matches. So I know their defense has been talked about a lot, that they have a lot of issues and whatnot, but if you look at it within the last 10 matches, they're giving up less than a goal a match. So their defense isn't as terrible, or they've figured that out a little bit as people think. So there's definitely some things there for us to work on and to make sure that we're doing the best we can to put together a good attack. And they've also done they've had 3 shutouts in the last 10 matches. Something to note with Arsenal, they're in 10th spot right now. They have scored the fewest goals of all top 10 teams. So something to think about. Although, as I just said, that trend is kind of turning, it looks like, for them. So they're starting to put the ball in the back of the net a little bit better here over the last 10 matches. In my opinion, their most dangerous player for us to contend with is going to be Saka, especially out there on the outside. He's the most, I think, creative player they have. Of course, they got Willian, who's pretty good. He out on the flank. He's probably going to he's pretty creative, but he gets a lot of things putting a lot of things inside. Saka can actually take on players and put something away. Aubameyang, he's more of a target man. Lacazette is, in my opinion, more of a poacher. So the most dangerous player, one-on-one or trying to break us down, is going to be Saka and how we deal with him. And it's going to come down to our lineup, who plays on that right outside back, and because we know who's going to be on the left, and that's going to be Rayon. But you got Doherty and Aurier who could be out there, and based on what Jose feels is the best counter for Saka, that's going to be something to take into consideration. Also, something to consider is if he starts Bell on that right wing, how much is he going to come back and support and help protect that right back? Because they have a left back that likes to get forward a lot, and he's not going to really worry about who he's, if it's Bell or Lamella or Bergwijn or whoever's out on that right wing, he's going to get forward. So they have a left back that likes to get forward, just like a Reguilon. So, there's definitely going to be an issue on that right side, and it's going to be imperative whoever the right back is very sound and does their job this match, in my opinion. As far as comparatives in their Arsenal's last 5 matches compared to the same like opponents, Spurs have gone 2 wins and 2 losses. One of their recent Arsenal's recent like opponents is Aston Villa, which we have yet to play this season. We got a match coming up with them real soon, and then not too long after that, we'll have the second match against Aston Villa. But so, as far as like opponents, we're kind of about the same. So a lot of these stats just kind of say, hey, these 2 teams aren't terribly far apart unless you look at the standing and the points accumulated and goal differential. Those are definitely things that kind of are a bit different, with us in 7th, them in 10th, 45 points versus their 38, and 18 goal difference for us, 7 for them. So, those stats do, but when you really break it down and look at a lot of the other stats, comparatives, we're pretty similar as far as teams. Now, the one thing that I will say that's in Spurs' favor in recent matches and that does not exactly equate to comparatives is the Bell factor. You got Bell, Kane, and Son all up front in the last few matches. And if that's the case in this match, I think that's a huge element that's going to cause issues for them and allow us to do like we've been doing in the past few matches, and that's attacking from the front, being out on the front foot, pressing up front. Even Bell's been doing a pretty good job of that, pressing up front. And you've even seen him in a number of matches getting back and making some plays around the 18-yard marks. So it's not like he won't get back. And if we play him like we have been and just say, you know what, Bell, you've got 60 to 70 minutes this match, and we just need everything you got for 60 to 70 minutes, and do the same thing that we've been doing, I think we have an opportunity here. So this is going to give us an opportunity to continue to move forward if we get a win. We got a number of upcoming matches. We got the replay for the Europa match, the second leg in midweek. We're in great position here to advance, but there's nothing given either. I mean, Dynamo's not a slouch of a team. We can definitely lose. I mean, we can definitely not advance. They're that kind of a team. They can put some goals in the back of the net. So we got a number of matches coming up, another big number of big matches in the Premier League. But there's also going to be, if we do advance, now we're back into Europa matches midweek again, and we're playing 2 or more matches a week. So definitely a lot going on, but this one's hard to go. I mean, I feel this is going to be a very tight game, especially if you look back in recent past over the last recent matches between the two teams. They don't really blow each other out. We're very tight, and that's indicative of a derby rivalry. And I think this is either going to be a 1-1 draw or a 2-1 victory for Spurs. I think we will, as usual, concede a goal, although we've had some recent shutouts, I get that. But this is more of a quality opponent within the Premier League. Just like with Palace, we gave up a goal. I think that we're going to actually win this one, even though it could go 1-1, 2-1. It's all going to be how we get out if we can get out on the front foot like we have been. If we're hunkered back in and Jose kind of pulls back on the reins to keep us from getting out and being effective, I don't think we're going to win. I don't think it's going to be a win. I think it's going to be either a 1-1 or we may even lose this match. It's just that kind of match. But let me know what you all think. I know I threw a lot of stats and stuff at you. So what does that all mean to you? What does all this stuff that I threw at you mean to you all? What do you think that it means? Let me know down in the comments. As we talked about, like, subscribe, and let's go get the win on Sunday against Arsenal, and let's just take it to them. And I talked about it in my my video where I talk about where I think the Spurs are going to finish. Why not? Let's finish this season out with 11 wins in a row. Let's just grab all 33 points available. So, and see what happens. So let's go get a win tomorrow, and come on, you Spurs.